Welcome all as we congregate to the greatest toy line in community, ever growing, ever changing. As we collect and adapt these figures to our own imaginations and embrace the fun, there's much to learn, especially if you're new to Mythics. Hey, good morning, friends. Decided to do something very different for me. I'm recording live. I just figured, I thought that we would talk about ISS, the big ISS sale, and the way I'm backlogged with my shows. This episode wouldn't air until probably mid to late August. So I thought, let's go live. And why not go live with my bro, Terrence St. John? Welcome, Terrence.
Thanks for having me again.
No problem. No problem. Glad you're here. Thanks for waking up and taking the time. And I didn't tell anyone, so that's why there's no one watching. There's no one watching, but that's okay. Thank you again for being on. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're off today.
I am off, today.
Isn't that a great feeling?
They were my days off this week, so this was my second day off this week.
Nice. Well, let's get into it. You've been very prolific within the community. You really hit the ground running, and I think it's awesome to see. I think it's good to see someone like fully embrace the community and just dig in. Curtis always says, this community is what you put into it, and you've really put a lot into it, and I think it's given back because you're kind of like, known already, as a lot of things, but all good.
I hope so.
Good.
I mean, it's you put things out there and you hope that they're liked or at least tolerated. And that's fun. I mean, I think that, I think you nailed it. It is. I think, and I'm sure I'm probably not alone in this, but when you find the cabal, I think that it feels like you've come home to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
You find a lot of like-minded people, and we may not share everything in common. I think your show is great for exploring that concept when we, hear from all the different personalities that are part of the cabal and the greater, Four Horsemen collecting community. Mm-hmm. I think that you hear a lot of shared experiences as far as what got us into toys or when we came into toys or, but I mean, there's also age variance. I'm 50. So I find when I listen to some of the guys, they might be 5-10 years younger than I am, and or Diego, I think, is probably even younger than that, as an example.
Yeah, he's young guy.
So I mean, it's interesting to hear. Even age doesn't completely divide us too much on, the types of experience that lead us to toys, what toys end up meaning to us, and I think what's amazing about this particular toy line and Four Horsemen in general is that it just lends itself to so many other areas, whether it's customizing, creativity,
yes,
dioramas, whatever it is. I mean, and I love it all. I mean, there's just so much to look at, so much to be inspired by, so much to motivate you. And my background, and I know we've talked about it briefly elsewhere, is the fact that I grew up as an illustrator, which is funny because I'm not really drawing right now, but I putting together a wacky comic strip that it has nothing to do with my own. Well,
yes. I've got some
doing some
a few
embellishments
slides
on it, but it's mostly just clip art and messing with things, and it's because it's just quick and dirty, and I can get it done in the time frame I have available. And but we'll probably talk about that at some point. But
yeah.
But I love the community. I think and it's amazing how quickly I think you've also mentioned that Jordan says good attracts good, or good,
Right.
I think
Wholesome recognizes wholesome.
that's it.
Good
Yeah.
recognizes good. Welcome, Sig. You're our first guest for our first live stream. Sig says, good morning. It's pronounced diorama. How did you pronounce it?
Sorry,
What'd you say?
diorama.
Diorama.
Could be a New York.
You made it old school. The diorama. Welcome to the Diorama Theater.
I'm going to put together my little biology diorama. Now I'm emphasizing the rama.
Right. But no, I love that there's we all have a connecting thread, like the toys. It allures us, attracts us, and then we find this amazing community, and that there's so much interaction, and there's so much, Sig is another example. Sig's such a great artist, and he uses these figures as a blank slate, and creates these amazing customs.
I loved his episode that you guys, I wasn't familiar with him, but watching the episode, I definitely became someone who needed to follow more of what he's doing, just because, it raised the awareness to me of him. And now I'm definitely following
Exactly. Him. Yeah, that's a perfect example. And that's kind of why I like this show. I'm not trying to pat my own back, but I think that there's so many people that are so prolific, like yourself, like Sig, that create so many amazing things. And I love to showcase that. And I love to hear people's stories. Come on. We have a special guest. Come on. Don't knock over my cords. Come on here. Come on, babies. Good girl. But there's so much to talk about, because there's so much creating going on within this community. I love it. I love to see it. I love to, embrace it. And like I said, I'm glad that you are part of it, that you found your place here in this community.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad to be here. I mean, I think that there's, you and I have talked offline before, I'm constantly looking at new ways to be involved, come up with new ideas of things I want to get involved in. And, it's just fun. I mean, I really enjoy, being able to take something, and if an idea strikes me, just run with it,
Mm-hmm.
and if it flies, it flies. And if it doesn't, maybe I'm the only one that enjoys it and gets a laugh at, but that's okay. You know what I mean? And
morning.
But the thing is, I mean, there's just so many, I think I'm going to keep coming back to the comic I'm working on, but because I'm at a point in the comic where Walter is interacting with the Swiggs,
mm-hmm.
and it's a point where he's trying to make them understand what the Cabal is.
Right. And let's go backwards. Let's go back. Let's go back real quick, because I want to give you credit, because it doesn't drive me crazy, but it's like you're the one that thought of the idea. I even have the post, and you probably reposted it about, I'm not sure this has been discussed, but was wondering if everyone else coming to Legion's Con would consider bringing their Swig and giving them a unique look, a t-shirt, an item, a banner, just something that makes it yours. So was this was after the Swig story that Jeremy
was. Yeah, Jeremy wrote the story, and then to me, the way I guess the evolution in my head was twofold. The first thing is, I wasn't even aware that people were getting as many Swigs as I guess they were getting, you know what I mean? And then Jeremy obviously created the story because I don't know if it was complaints, but people noticing, I guess, saying, hey,
yeah, well,
I think, and this guy got a Swig, and we all got a Swig. Why so many Swigs,
yeah, I think Jeremy is such a goddamn genius in that, just him in this story. And I'm not saying that he did it to boost sales, right? But it boosted. I mean, the Swig, Swigs were and the cost of Swigs went up a little bit, but it was like a fever.
Yeah.
For Swigs.
That's the funny thing. So then I saw that, and, I have a sales background myself. I mean, and, but in my head, I thought, oh, it'd be cool. So many fans are going to it. And I don't know how many of them have participated in the mystery boxes, but people have Swigs. And I don't know if people have army builded Swig armies because he's kind of a named character, so he may not lend himself to that as well. But I thought it'd be cool if we could get all these Swigs to show up in one place, and because
Right.
there's 1,000 of them, how close could we get to having 1,000 Swigs at the event?
We're gonna find out.
And it sounds like we're gonna find out because I'm
But
hearing
it's
a lot of people
fun.
say, I'm bringing 3, I'm bringing 4,
Yeah,
I'm bringing, I'm
it's
bringing
fun. It's
and
fun, and that's another way that the cabal, the community, has embraced something and really shown their creativity. Like we always talk about David Williams'
absolutely,
Swig, and it's fantastic. And I love
yeah.
seeing other people's. There's Swole Swig.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mark did a big Swig.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see what Swig you created. Did you post it yet?
I haven't posted mine yet.
Oh, okay. So
it's gonna tie back to the comic book a little bit, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
So
but yeah,
I have a plan. I will bring at least 4 Swigs of my own. I know that my girlfriend and my son are both bringing their Swigs. So
it's funny.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say just real quick, and then I'll let you. So I got home I think it was last week, and my fiance girlfriend is so random. She I don't know what I think I was washing dishes or getting ready to cook dinner or something, and just out of the blue she goes, "What's a Swig?" And I just start laughing like, "What are you?" Well, she is in the cabal. I need to get her signed up for the Legion's Ladies, but she's in the cabal, so she's wanting to grasp. I think well, her first figure now is a Swig. I got her a Swig, but she's like, "What's a Swig?" Because of this thing going on with the Swigs. She's like, "What is this Swig thing?" And I'm like, I tried to describe it to her, like what it is, and and I think she grasps it, but I don't know. But I just thought it was so funny. She's like, "What's a Swig?" So I was like, "It's a goblin." And my buddy Terrence, had the idea of everyone bringing a Swig, and so she's like, "Oh, I want to do that." So I got her a Swig, and now we're gonna customize one together. We just need to make the time. So I don't know. It's just another fun thing that
and
I
that's
love.
it. I think it's great in the sense of you can bring a Swig, just a standard Swig as he is. You can bring a Swig that's customized. I mean, I think, and I think I've said it in subsequent posts, is the fact that, this community and Four Horsemen as a whole, I mean, they promote, imagination and customization, so if you want to do something more with it, I'm sure Jeremy's not going to be upset if you want to buy a standard NA,
right.
customizable Swig. So. I said yesterday to somebody that I'm trying to become the most influential Swig influencer.
Yeah, you're a Swig enabler. Hey, Matt. Hey, Charlie. How you guys doing? Welcome. Thank you guys for joining, by the way.
Yeah, it's been fun. I think, and it's something that anybody who's coming to the con can get into. They can pull a Swig out of their collection and bring it. They can buy another one on the ISS sale tomorrow, because I think I've heard a lot of people saying they're glad that there's going to be Swigs in the sale tomorrow.
There's a ton of Swigs apparently out there.
Who knew?
So, but it's also a great freaking figure. You know what I mean? I mean, it's one of those, and I'm gonna do a show soon about figures that people that are new to Mythics can pick up for $35 to $45. And it'd be a phenomenal figure.
Absolutely.
And Curtis, if you're still on here, Tusk Sentry definitely is one of those figures that is worth picking up at a good price. But yeah, the Swig is one of them with the soft goods and all the stuff that it comes with. It's a great figure. But yeah, so the ISS sale is happening tomorrow at 11 a.m. So be there. What was that?
Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time, right? Yeah. My stepson's like, I'm gonna try, but he wakes up at like 3 and he's in California. So I'm like, dude, it's gonna be nothing left. You're gonna be asked out.
Right.
Hopefully he'll get some skeletons. So I know you've got some figures there queued up, maybe, but if you want, let's dig into the Oh yeah, there's Swigg right there. So just the base Swigg is such a good figure, and there's a lot you can do with that.
They're multiplying.
They're multiplying. Don't feed them after midnight. But so the ISS sale is happening tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and there's such a plethora, I love that word, of new, well, not really new, but other than the Skeleton Legion Builder version 2, I don't think there's anything else new, but there's just so much stuff, and I don't know if it's from their their warehouse, from all the cons, the stuff that they bring every year. I saw someone say that, they're freeing up space for the dragon boxes. But there's just so much good stuff that's being for sale tomorrow. The Aether wave, the reinforcement wave, all in for those. And just, I don't know, so much stuff. So do you have a list?
I do.
Oh yeah, the Skull Warrior standard. Thank you, Matt. I'm curious about that. He didn't show the packaging. I'm curious about what it's going to look like. If it's going to have a bio or anything. It is limited to one.
Sorry, when you say skull, I didn't catch all of Jeremy's thing last night. Is that another thing that's going to be in the?
Yeah, so that is new, I guess, is the Skull Warrior that was released for the ZoloCon.
Okay.
You guys are so distracting with your comments. I've never. I'm like trying to read the comments and stay engaged with you. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
But
you're going live, right?
Yeah. Well, I thought it'd be fun to have a conversation and maybe catch some people actually awake and maybe able to watch. But so Skull Warrior and the Legion Builder Skeleton version 2 are the new figures. And everything else is pretty much kitchen sink. So do you have a little list of what you're going to try and pick up tomorrow?
I am. So I am dividing and conquering. I have given somebody an assignment for me because I am going on.
That helped.
My thought is I have something I definitely want to try to get that we're hearing is in limited amounts.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
I want an all in on something. I'm not sure if I want to say what it is because I don't want other people. I mean, I'm sure
no, that's fine. I don't know what I know what you're because I think maybe we talked about it. I heard you. Yeah. So I was going to. I had my stepson and my buddy wanted to go in on all that, and I was like, I would rather. I'm a leisurely shopper. I'm one of those guys that has the shopping cart and likes to browse and look around, and I just want to browse tomorrow. Sure. I don't want to be like, I gotta, I want to look around. So I told the guys, I'm like, we're not doing all in on that wave. I'm not even gonna try because like Jeremy said it on. I don't know if you saw it the whole thing yesterday, but he says if you do have that all in box, you better check out when you have it and check out quick.
Yeah. So my plan is, and I'm being silly. I mean, so I want an all in Aether wave. I have about half the wave, I guess. I have like 5 figures. I don't have the feet pack, the wings. I don't have Hadriana. I don't have.
I have a Hadriana for you. So let me know.
And so it was funny. It was funny. You and I talked about that. I think the day before they had, dropped that they were going to do it. So I mean, my thought is I'm going to try to go for it because I have all the stuff I do have still in box. I haven't unboxed my Aether stuff that I have. I also have both a single Aether set and I have the 2-pack with Atheon, which go ahead.
Can I interject? Go try for that all in, but I believe that at most of the shows that I've been to and that I've seen, they still do have that 2-pack of Aether for $100.
Yeah, so typically what I've seen is they had it at Toylanta. They didn't have it. If they did have it at Joe Fest, it must have been really limited because I didn't see it around. They did not have. in fact, I'll go so far as they didn't have probably didn't. I'm gonna say they probably didn't have it at Joe Fest because that was Ish, and I'm assuming Ish didn't have it. You know, it might be more of a if Four Horsemen shows up, they bring it.
Yeah.
And I also so IshCon might be different. You know what I mean? As an example, you know, which
Yeah.
we'll
I'm just throwing that out there. So you know, if you don't get it, that 2-pack, I think they charge like $100.
They do,
I told my stepson because he wanted the Aether, and Atheon, and I said, you know what, I've got an extra 2-pack. You can buy it from me, because it's going to be tough getting that all in.
Yeah.
But that Atheon, I had it once. My friend who got out of the line, why I don't know, but got out of the line and gave me he sold me his Atheon and Aether. And at the time, I didn't really look at the figure, and the colors were kind of bright and garish and not really my tea. So I sold them, and flash forward to like a year later, and I'm at Chubsy Wubsy in New Jersey, which is a great store if you guys ever get a chance. And he had it on display. And I'm telling you, and the Horsemen too, they're so damn smart. They take these beautiful figures and they open them and they set them with the other figures. So you're like, nah, I don't really. And then you stop and you look at it. Oh my God. You know, like his teeth, his helmet, it's just gorgeous. And like on your shelf, you're going to walk by and be like, what is this? Because it's freaking beautiful. You know, it's a beautiful figure. So you're trying for that all in. What else is on your grocery?
So that's going to be I'm going in trying to get that, and then I'm going to get off as quickly as I can if I can even get a basket. Because what I have seen, and I'm sure most of the people watching this are probably, you know, vets as far as these types of things. But what I would recommend is if you're going to buy, even if you're going to buy multiples of anything.
Sorry, Curtis, Athon. Sorry.
Yeah. The problem I've had with the ISS sales in the past is if there's anything in your basket that sells out, it basically screws up the whole checkout process.
Right. Yeah. I heard that before with the, I think it was the reinforcements sale. People were trying to buy the unknown one, and it was gone, and it was just messing up people's.
Yeah. Cause I had to, I think, because whenever the last ISS happened, it happened while I was at ZoloCon in Pennsylvania.
Me too.
And so while I was there, I was trying to check out, and it was funny because I think it happened early enough in the morning that it was before the show started. But I was actually like in a Walmart parking lot or whatever, and messing with my phone. I had my son with me, and I'm like literally like losing my mind because I'm like, why can't I check out? Like, you know, I had these 5 or 6 items in my cart, and I could not check out. And I didn't understand because I mean, like I've never experienced that with other checkouts and other, you know, things. Usually they'll just say, "Oh, this isn't here," but the ISS, at least the software they were using at the time, does not tell you what is sold out. It just tells you there's an error with your code, you know, your thing, or there's something wrong.
Yeah.
So you have to almost play with it to try to
Shopify, man. It's Shopify.
Yeah,
and it would be nice if it did, like, you know, maybe highlight the thing that you're trying, you know, that's in your cart and say no longer available or something, instead of just like, you know, it would be nice if it was able to communicate with you. Just want to read a couple of comments. Fernando, here are the community right here, right there. Thank you very much, man. Matt, I tried doing the in and out and the pins. Yeah, the pins were huge, dude. A lot of people wanted the pins. Luckily, I was there at ZoloCon, and they had a Keltis pin, and I was able to grab one for me and one for Pete. But yeah, those pins went super, super quick. Hopefully there'll be some new pins maybe at Legion's Con. I don't know. They know that we like pins. Not everybody, but pins are pretty popular. It's like people at Disneyland are crazy about these damn pins. Charlie V Dog says, does anyone know what the mouse pad will look like? I have one here, Charlie, so I'll send you a picture after the show. I don't want to get up and show off my awesome camouflage shorts. Also, what?
We were supposed to wear pants for this?
Well, I mean, it's not mandatory, you know. You know.
I just threw on this shirt.
Yeah. Yeah. Sig, they're talking about Sig and Curtis were talking about horses and how they take up a big chunk of display. And that's true. I have a lot of stuff that I'm not able to display, but that Balius and that Arethyr wave, I really wanted. I don't have that. I hope I pronounced that right, Curtis. The brown horse, I'll just say, from the Arethyr wave. That figure I really wanted just because it's the OG original steed. But I did get a hookup on that, so I don't have to buy the whole wave just to get that figure. But so I think for me, I'm gonna go easy. I'm gonna get 2 of the new Skeleton Legion builders. I would like a couple of the gold. I might get 2 extra. Just I think Dub wanted a couple, so maybe I'll order a couple more for him. But
The maximum's 4. That means the minimum is 4.
Right. Absolutely. And they will be at IshCon. I messaged Ish just to confirm, and they will be there for sure in limited quantities, is what Jeremy said.
Right.
So, man, when he says stuff, it's just like you get that. Oh, I got to get there right away, man. He's got that.
He knows how to raise the urgency level.
Yes, well said. Curtis is in the shower, so let's cut to Curtis in the shower showing off his new bod. Just kidding, he's not here, but I would love for him to be here, but maybe with some clothes on. So 2 skeletons. I'd like 2 of the gold knights. They said that the loose figures, and I was wondering about this, the loose figures are due to the packages being damaged, and they just took them out of the package. So $20, you can't beat that. So I'm going to be quick on those. Get a couple of goldies. The Skullman I want. I do have a couple of the Skullman here, but when it comes to that damn exclusive boxing, I gotta leave him in the box.
Right.
I don't want to open it. So when they have the the regular retail packages, it's easier for me to open. Same thing with the Demistros and what was the other one? Oh, Vorgus. I think that's it. I might get a Cavern Dwarf or a Bronze Dwarf. Boo! What are you booing to, Sig? What are you booing to? Is he booing to not seeing Curtis in the shower? What are you booing to? Yeah, I'm excited. It's my buddy Brendan was like, oh man, we were talking, we had like wallet woes, like, but I'm like, dude, if you're a fan, oh yeah, open toys. No, I agree, Sig, but it just gets me to buy more. So I bought like 2 or 3 of the Demistros and 2 or 3 of the Vorgus to open. And I am an opener, like Curtis says. All toys should be open, and I agree.
Except 90s Batman toys, according to Curtis, though.
Well, he did open one, which I was happy to see. Because that way you get to see the engineering of the figure, the beauties of the figure. And that's kind of why I like the open clamshell thing with these figures. You just slide it off and take off the twisty, and you're good to go.
Well, and that's the thing too, especially like when you talk about Skullman as an example. I mean, like usually, obviously, there's usually one variance or another with con figures versus the standard retail afterwards. I think with Skullman, I think there's an extra head in the con
head and hood. Yeah.
So I have one. I had gotten a bunch, but I had sent, as you probably know, I am big about shipping stuff out to other Cabal members.
Yes. Yeah, I did that too.
So I know I had gotten one for Joe Gonzalez as an example.
Joe's a great dude.
Yeah, me and Joe have known each other for a while because we used to do, we still do occasionally when he has time. I'm there more frequently, I think, nowadays than he is. But on the Ostradamus Toys Clubhouse, so we were doing that before I even got into Mythic, as an example. And but Joe's always been such an awesome guy, and I'm
He's
always
a killer among the community.
Yes, and he well, I'll hold this back, but he definitely got me the mace I needed for a specific project that you and I worked on. So,
Yes, I do have a picture of that. I wanted to give like a quick. So we are going to do a show about a custom. Just to give a little context, there is some older figures out there that are super expensive. If you're new to this line, or if you've been here for a while, if you look backwards towards older figures, they're pricey dicey. There was a figure that caught my eye and obviously caught Terrence's eye, which is an Uncan figure, which is a Man-at-Arms tribute. And it's just a beautiful figure, but man, it is so expensive. So was it Maverick? Who was the one that they did a post? Who was it?
Blaze Bear.
Blaze Bear. Sorry, Blaze. Yeah. Blaze Bear did a post about doing a custom to recreate basically Uncan. And so me and Terrence decided that we were going to do that. I've just been lagging because I work so damn much. But here is Terrence's Uncan. So we're going to do a show about it, our journey, pretty soon. I just need to finish mine. Yeah, I love the orange. The orange really catches my eye. So much fun. Love it. Love it. Love it.
I've upgraded him with a Cabal shield, though. He needed to have the Cabal.
That's okay. Normal person. You can just make your own for that one. Yes, and that's kind of what we did. We decided, normal, to make our own, to keep the $400, $500, $600 in our pocket and just make our own. It's not the same, but it makes I'm happy. Once it's on my shelf, I'm okay.
Have you seen that trap jaw that Blaze did?
I believe I did. Yeah, I believe I did. Yes.
Jaw, it looks awesome.
Yes, it does.
It does that too.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with Uncan. I'm not a customizer. I was scared to death when I started painting on my figure, and I was like, oh, I ruined it. And but it's taking the paint well. Charlie says opening figures are great, but if it's a rare, expensive, then you should get a pass for that, not to open them. For example, if someone bought an $800 Otho, should they still open the figure? It's up to you. I think that's a question that you have to answer for yourself. It's nice with these Cabal figure, or the Four Horsemen figures. You can actually, you can put it back in the package and it'd be okay. The twisties are one thing. I had a friend that sold me his figures, and he threw the twisties in with the box. So, that's something you could do. You can, I guess, put the twisties back on. But I don't know. That's something for yourself. My buddy Fernando, who's new to the line, he's got some bangers. He's got Lucretia, Ravina, Pixis, Grisha, and he left them all in the box. And it's like, dude, you're kind of missing out, because these are some banger figures that are should be enjoyed. But I get it, if it's expensive, and they look good in package too. So what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm definitely more of an opener. I have a bunch of stuff that's still in box at the moment, not because I'm trying to keep it in box, but because of the fact that things like this recent, like the Arathier wave, do I have the opportunity to switch out and get a full box where I'd have the 5 figures and the extra stuff that I didn't get originally? That just worked out timing wise. If it works out, we'll have to find out tomorrow. But
good luck, man.
Yeah, good luck. may good fortune be in your favor. So we'll see how that works out. But hopefully, if I know something, by 11:15 tomorrow, I guess I can start, looking for folks to unload those figures on. But yeah, no, it's beyond the Arathier wave. I also want to get I definitely want to get 4 of the skeletons. I want to get I'd like to get 4 more Swiggs.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, I need 4 more Swiggs.
You're gonna bring 1,000 yourself to the.
I did. Well, the thing is, my idea in my comic strip has taken on a life of its own. So originally, some of the Swiggs I have were meant for my girlfriend and my son, and so now I feel like I need to to replace the ones that I swiped from them. I can say that the 4 Swigs I'm working on will ultimately end up requiring some soft goods, which may be a quick shout out. I've already begun the discussion with the person who will be getting me the soft goods, which looks like it's going to be Big Dub's sister.
Yes, Kim Duffy has
yeah.
really exploded on the scene.
Yeah, we've had some fun conversations about what we want to do. She loved the idea. She seems to have some ideas on how she's going to go about bringing it to life. And it's really cool, too, because we've talked about, obviously she's giving me a price. I'm okay with that price.
Mm-hmm.
But she also gave me the option of there's a couple things she's looking for that she's willing to swap for. So being someone who has things fall into his lap on occasion, that may work out as well. So we'll see how that works. But, the idea is I want to, we're evolving the Swigs throughout the story, and then the final version of those Swigs will show up at Legion's Con. That would be the plan.
Oh, okay.
Nice. I also need to get, I keep not realizing I don't have it. I keep thinking I have it. I don't have a half giant. So I need a half giant.
You don't have a half giant? I did that too. I was like, wait a minute, I don't have what's the if you don't know, somebody in the group help me out. What's the green guy, the green half giant? Eric, dude. Is it like an ogre? The green one, the guy with one eye? I think it's
I think he's an ogre. Yeah. He came with reinforcements too, right?
I think so. Yeah. I don't have that. And I was like, wait a minute, I don't have that. It just occurred to me.
Is it reinforcements too? I think there was an ogre in reinforcements too.
I think you're right in the all-in.
Yeah.
Kurzog.
I have him, and I have Kurzog, and then I have I think those are the two ogres.
Yeah, ogre. Thank you, guys. Now, does that ogre come with one head, just the one eye head, or does he come with the regular, like?
I think he has two. Head? I think he has the black, like, iron kind of helmet on, and then he has the Cyclops kind of eye, if I remember.
I might be picking up one of those tomorrow. I have the regular half giant, with the tan skin.
Mm-hmm.
He does come with two heads. But that's such a good figure.
Well, because the thing is, it's funny, is I have the accessory kit for the ogre scale. Anybody put it on, but there's that, and that's another reason. I mean, again, I want more wings. The wings are really hard to come by. I'd like to get more wings for more characters. But I think every time I look at what's on that sale, I find one more thing I want to add to it. But but it's funny too. It's timing on these things. I always laugh how, like, we're a week away from IshCon. You know what I mean? And it's like,
yes.
And it's like, I feel like a reoccurring theme with me on your shows is usually me basically finding some magical way of how will I come up with the money for this?
Right.
And
yes.
I always do, because I have two very large, ridiculous storage units full of stuff that and this is honestly something that's come to fruition in the last 2 weeks. I think that I have, I think I'm streamlining a little bit. I think I've come to the conclusion that, and it's something that I've also noticed when I've listened to some of the other guests that you've had on your show in the last few weeks, is that at some point, I think no matter what got us into this, no matter what we were collecting prior to it, at some point you're like, you know what? I'm into Mythics, or I'm into Legions. You know what I mean? Like, and I started out as a die-hard Motu guy. I've collected Motu like crazy. But I've also become kind of disenfranchised with Motu in the last year or so because of the way that they're releasing stuff through Walmart, through the way that they're releasing stuff. Like, I can't find certain things. And I mean, I'm somebody who I would characterize as I always find the stuff one way or the other. But Walmart Collecticons, which there's one happening right now. I literally had to make the decision even getting on the show, because originally I was going to get on and be like,
hey, somebody grab me a Venom, please.
I was going to say to you, like, hey, if do you mind if we get off at 10 o'clock? But I also made the decision in my head, like, I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? I'll get the stuff. If it's just really that important to me. There were a couple things that I kind of had hopes of getting, but I've been so disappointed in the last 2 or 3 Walmart Collecticons that I'm just like, why? And of course, I come out of each one. We call it cancel con, because they cancel your orders so frequently, even when you do get something. Like I had Duplico 2 cons ago, and they canceled the order on me 3 days before it was supposed to ship. I've yet to see the Terror or Lord Grasp.
I'm not a fan of that. I that's why I like the Horseman's model of their sales.
Yep.
Charlie's asking how much the test shots cost. It just varies, Charlie, on the popularity of the figure. Anywhere from 200 to 1,000.
Do we have an update on whether or not Scotty sold that test shot?
My buddy Mark said that there was a post that he was putting it on eBay.
Ugh.
Which I would have sent it to Wyatt myself, but
yeah, well, I mean, and I don't want, I was watching Purple Gang Gang when they had Scotty on there, and I just, again, anybody can do whatever they want. I just worried that it would not end up in the right hands, and I thought there was a right way to do this. And I even put something in the comments where I'm like, when he was talking about it, I'm like, and again, I don't know if he's a Cabal guy or not, you know what I mean? Like, but it just felt very uncabalish, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
yeah. I had that same feeling, but looks like Curtis says Warren is asking ridiculous money. Number I heard was 2,500, which I don't know. I don't really want to, disparage anybody. It is very uncabalish in my opinion. I know, we all want stuff. And we put it out there, we make a post saying, hey, I want this figure. I'm looking for a Noglin, whether I get it or not, eventually. But if there's bros out there, and they can do it, then they'll do it. Wyatt threw out there that he really wanted. Wyatt is from the Mythic Enablers, great guy. I've dealt with all of them, great guys, and he put out there that he really wanted that test shot. And reality, we don't always get what we want, but a lot of people were kind of pulling for him to get it, and that it turned into a money thing. It's kind of disappointing.
Listen, I get. The thing is, to me, the way I again, like you said, I don't want to disparage. I don't know. I don't think I was thrilled that I heard that it was going to be like a giveaway. You know what I mean? Like in that regard. I get why. I get, the promoting of an event and stuff like that. I just worry that something so valuable that I might consider so precious, I'm not a test shot collector. I don't think it would be wasted upon me. It's like there are certain things that I've never drank or eaten because I just know that they would be wasted upon me. You know what I mean?
Right.
My tastes are different. I think when it comes to collecting, I think, and this is just a collecting in general. I think if you're in this, you love to collect things, but I think at some point you also realize that the getting of something is awesome. The hunting of it is awesome. But sometimes if you don't think that you are that museum curator who's going to keep something on a pristine shelf someplace where it's never going to be touched, or like you're going to control how much lighting or temperature it receives and stuff like that, I'm not the right guy for that test shot.
Right. I think the giving is just as important and just as fulfilling as the getting and the finding.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I do love about this community is the giving. I had posted in the Purple Gang Gang chat, hey, I'm looking for a Vitus, and Curtis is like, I got you, right. and just that type of generosity or linerosity, as Curtis says, is just it's invaluable, and it spreads. Like I've got my buddy Fernando fixes this guy's air conditioner for Mythics, and I'm like, dude, but it makes him feel good. You know what I mean? He's doing something for somebody else. And it's passing on, right. I sent him figures for his birthday, or sent him a figure. Yeah. And it's just like that type of, paying forward and giving and generosity. What's up, Big G in the house? There's another example. Big G, You know, he's like, hey, I'm looking for a shield for who was it? Attila was, you know, and I'm like, I got you, you know, and I sent it to him, and he did the same thing. He sent me some parts. So just that generosity and the giving, you know, that's what I'm proud to be part of.
Absolutely.
And I guess, and I'm not saying anything bad about this guy, but he definitely doesn't have that sense of, you know, I'm not saying give away this test shot.
I'll say in this situation, again, you never know what people's circumstances. I know he said something about that he wants to put it back into his business, and you know that's understandable to some extent. But I mean, I'm under the impression that people paid $40, got a ticket, you know, to potentially win something, and so for that $40 investment, they got an extra, really amazing freebie. You know what I mean? Like, and you know, somebody out there, I think there were only 10 of these things in the world somewhere or whatever. To somebody else who this is their grail, this is their thing, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying you have to give it to them, but like seeking $2,500, if that's an insane number or whatever. And I mean, I almost wouldn't be surprised too if this guy gets this. I don't think he'll get the $2,500, but whatever he does get, I'd almost assume that it might even end up being like I could see a crowdfunding thing where it's just to get it for Wyatt. You know,
I would chip in.
Yeah, I just think $2,500 is a ridiculous ask.
Eric has a good point. He says tough subject because we don't know his situation and maybe he really wants the money or needs the money.
Right.
Does seem greedy, but I can't shame his sale price. Shame since we were all pulling for Wyatt to get it. Right. Yeah, I agree. It's like, you know, I try to walk in everybody's shoes, and I get it. It's a temptation, or if he needs the money or something, you know, maybe we can make a post, Curtis, about, you know, chipping in to help secure that figure for Wyatt. You know, I think a lot of us would in this community would chip in to do that. But
I'll definitely have to go on eBay and find it and put it on a watch list, just because I'd be curious to see if I wouldn't be surprised he has tons of watchers, but not really interested purchasers, you know, at that price. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My friend said that I guess a couple of stores had offered to buy the figure. So maybe that's what kind of bumped up his, you know, maybe his asking. Curtis says last he looked, it wasn't up yet.
Okay.
Swig's got 5 on it. But I wanted to go back. I had started to make a point about my buddy Brendan and these sales. And I'm like, he's like, you know, we were like, oh man, you know, another sale and I'm going to be broke again. And I'm like, yes. But like, it's to be expected. Like, every month they have something to, you know, to steal our not steal our money, but to make us open our wallets. So I just prepare, like whenever one event is over, there's something else coming, you know, and it's like, you know, it is what it is. You know, they hold us hostage by our fandom, basically. You know, we're getting great stuff. And it's just, you know, just be ready for it. So,
and listen, there's those people out there, you know, I always laugh because I talk to different people. I think I was talking to Robert Zamora earlier this week, and
Rob,
and you know, I was saying to him, like, you know, we were talking about, because I'm an all-in guy. I don't dabble, you know. As you probably know, you've seen my most wanted list. You know, I've only been in this for about a year and change, and I've amassed quite a collection, and I'm determined to get it all at some point. But
good on you, man.
I'm on my way. So, you know, there are other people who only collect goblins or only collect skeletons or only collect whatever.
That's what I did. Yeah.
And I am not that person. But there is a certain amount of admiration for those that have that self-control. You know,
well, it could be
Bob was telling me he's a cherry picker. You know, he was telling me he picks what he likes and what and what, you know, but unfortunately I like it all, which is the problem, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think a lot of us did that. Like I was like, okay, I'm just going to collect females. And then I was like, my friend gave me a skeleton, and then I bought a dwarf. And then, you know, the 6 says, I don't dabble, Terrence. You know, it's like kind of dipping your toe. It's like, I'm just going to try this. And then once you open these damn figures and see how amazing they are, it's hard to just dabble, and I think that that's why a lot of us, like you were saying earlier about kind of curbing your collecting of other lines to kind of mainly focus, like you and I are, we're not alone in that. There's been so many of us that I've talked to that have like, yeah, I used to collect Hot Toys, I used to collect Mafex, and now I do still, they'll say, but it's all mostly Mythic now, or some people like it's just Mythic now. So that's a testament, I think, to how great these figures are.
I mean, there's certain things I'm still going to collect. I mean, I feel like I'm at a point now where I'm collecting things that are Mythic and what I would consider Mythic adjacent. You know what I mean? I've been cautioned on mentioning a certain company that's had some lizard people recently. I've been told there's some bad blood. I don't know.
You're fine. You're fine.
But no, but I mean, I do like the Savage Crucible stuff. I do like looking forward to the Barbarian stuff that's coming out very soon.
They had a really strong first wave. A lot of people are like, it's just lizards, and that's kind of what I said too. It's just lizards. But I got one, and I'm like, holy shit, this is a really nice figure. So, it out of the gate, having a strong wave like that really helps for their future endeavors.
And I mean, I'm a sucker for anything that has Frazetta, overtones to it. So, I mean, like, I'm looking forward to that Barbarian with the ball and chain in the next wave. I mean, that one character, I can't remember the names, unfortunately, but there's a character that almost looks like he has like a wolf kind of like looking like appearance.
He looks. That's Jaeger.
Yeah, you're right. It is Jaeger.
Yeah.
Hooded and the unhooded look with the crossbow looks awesome.
Curtis says Savage Crucible. Now I know it's not Lynn. Rob says it's a great line. Charlie, self-control, what is that? No, I agree. I have a hard time. Like IshCon is next week, and I'm like planning what figures I'm gonna buy tomorrow. And then Sig is asking, no Cosmic for you, Terrence.
Oh no, I'm definitely into Cosmic.
Sig is a huge Cosmic guy. For anyone that hasn't watched the episode of New to Mythics with Sig, we talk a lot of Cosmics, and my man likes his Cosmics.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely Cosmics. In fact, I've also appeared on shows with Jeff.
Yes, Cosmic Contact.
Cosmic Content Connections. And I'll probably be on there again soon. I couldn't do it this week. It actually coincided with my son's birthday. So, but me and Curtis, I think, are going to soon compete for who has the most centuries. I'm not sure how much Curtis has, so I have to probably find, if he's listening, he may throw a number out there, but I'm sure it exceeds mine. I only have about a dozen so far, but
Curtis is definitely the champion of centuries for sure.
Yeah,
I'm an Azza guy, but she's a little bit harder and more expensive to collect than the centuries.
Yeah,
but oh my god, Curtis has 28. Curtis, you might need to prove that, man. I don't know, 28, dude. That's
I think I've seen him. He was on the Clubhouse, I think, one night, or it might have been a Legion's class with Oz, where he had them in the background, and it did look like it was like almost 24 at that point. So
are those for customs, Curtis, or do you sleep with it, like, or do you like lay them around you and sleep in a bed of centuries? Like, why do you need 28, bro? I'm curious on that. Charlie says, Terrence, do you have all of the Figure Obscura figures?
I have every Figure Obscura figure minus the retail version of Father Christmas, and it's only because I've not been well, I shouldn't say I'm not a fan of it. It's not that I don't like it. It's not the way I imagine Santa to look, if that makes sense. Although it was funny because I have another one of my Clubhouse cohorts, which is a Punk with Toys, Lawrence. He actually did a review, I think, in the last day or two, which I laughed because he makes clear it's weird that he's making a Father Christmas review video long after it's come out in the middle of July, but it's
a nice figure. It comes with a lot of good stuff.
And it's funny. I didn't make the connection that it had a second head. I just thought it was the younger looking brown haired head. I do like the soft goods. So, I mean, there's this between the soft goods and accessories. Sometimes you look at figures and go, even if it's not the one you put out display
Yes.
as is it worth it for me to buy it just to have the extra soft goods, the extra body? You know, I could completely pull it apart. It's just Figure Obscura is such beautiful boxes, such beautiful presentation all the way around
Yes.
there and go, do I want to destroy this perfectly good thing to turn it
Well,
into something?
if you do buy one, I'm interested in that gold helmet.
Mhm.
I'm not mad that that gold helmet is just in that, but I am kind of mad because I love that gold helmet. That's like one of my favorite figures. Do I have it here? No, it's over there. But I love that gold round
Mhm.
helmet, knight helmet, and that's the only place to get it. So
I have to
I
look a little
bought.
more closely to figure out like how different it is. Is that the one that has kind of like a more of a pointed nose?
No, it's the rounded. It's like the Valiant Knight helmet.
Okay.
It's that, but gold,
Okay.
and it looks so good on the gold knight. Where is
Mhm.
my figure? I don't have it.
Yeah, I feel
Um,
like I've seen mashups of it with I don't know if maybe it was Dork Lair or somebody else
see
had
you,
put it.
Sig. Have a good one, Sig. Sorry,
No, it's cool. I think I know I've seen it elsewhere. I'm just not making the connection in my head exactly what it looks like. But yeah.
I'm trying to see where mine is, but yeah, I bought one off eBay for like $30, and my friend was like, "Stupid! You should have just bought another um, Father Christmas." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. I should have." But
At Joe Fest, I got a bunch of the Figure Obscuras that I needed, the retail versions, because I really wanted the spectral green headless horseman. I finally got that. Excuse me, I got that there. I had picked up and put down the Krampus a gazillion times at different cons because I couldn't remember if I had the red or black one, and the boxes are just, to me, they look very similar, so it's kind of hard to
right,
open it up, and I couldn't remember which one I had back home. To the point where I actually took a picture of the one at home and started taking it with me to cons, so open, like, I'm telling you, the Alzheimer's hitting quick.
I hear
So
you. I hear you.
the no, so I picked up that one. I finally got that. I have the forthcoming ones all on pre-order. Speaking of cosmics, that's the one I'm most looking forward to. I think of all the retail exclusives coming is
Fisher Rice.
the Fisher Rice one. Yeah, he looks
Yeah, that's a
amazing.
beauty.
I mean, just so many options, so many different heads, and again,
Yeah,
just keep making tusk bodies with different colors, and I'll keep buying them. I've got a problem. But yeah, no,
that Century body, man. It's that Century body. They made a banger like that.
mhm.
The Cosmic Walter is one of my favorite figures in both lines. It's just, yeah, it's just so beautiful. I'm not the skull head. Like I think I put an Attila head on mine,
Mhm.
but it's just a beauty, man. Yeah, the Legion's Con exclusives Cosmic set is a gorgeous, beautiful set. Um, so yeah, Cosmics are they've come strong in the year that they've been out. They've had some great figures, and it's just starting.
Yes.
So we're at the beginning of an amazing line. A lot of people like Cosmics are not for me, and it's like that's fine, but
Mhm.
it's just starting. It's just getting started. So
And I
um,
saw somebody had a custom up earlier this week where they had taken the slog and they'd put like tentacles into the chest joints, and it looked amazing.
yeah,
Um, so I mean, there's just so many options. I don't think we've seen or even considered yet what they can do. But you see a body like that, and they're going to get reuse out of it somehow.
yes, yeah, and I'm curious about what they're gonna do
You know.
with that body. It's kind of tough to see, well, I mean, what else can they do? But I'm sure there'll be like some heads and some
Mhm.
different colored arms and things. But yeah, I'm curious about that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen 1,000 of the eyeball attachments on the head and stuff like that. But I mean, I think I've seen some frog
I
head.
wanted the frog one. Yeah, I
You
really like that one. I'm not sure. Somebody help me out. Who designed that? I would love to get one of those frog heads for sure.
know, and I just tripped across somebody's channel in the last week or two where they were talking about how they made a custom frog because that's what they wanted because they didn't know that there was one out there yet. So and I have to find the name of the channel, but it's a British, I think he's British, collector. And so it was nice to get another. I love hearing, other voices from around the world who are collecting. I mean, I love Euro Legions. I love listening to everybody. Euro Legions just did that great video with Toy Analytics in the last week or so. That was interesting to see, and I laughed when I saw that Swigg was on the upswing as far as people making.
Uh-oh. Looks like we lost Terrence. What's up, Brett? Brett is in the house. Let's see here. Can you guys, what have you guys, or what are you guys thinking about picking up tomorrow? Brett, I know you're doing Skeleton Legion builders. That happens. There he is. He's back.
All right, cool. Sorry, phone call came in and it screwed everything up while I was.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. I was going to the audience. I'm like, what are you guys ordering tomorrow?
No, I hit dismiss to the phone call, and for whatever reason, I went black. I could see the black box where my picture should be, and I was like, "Uh-oh, what happened?" But
only Skelly's Brett.
Yes, no, it's been interesting to. I just love hearing as many different voices with different opinions on what people like.
Yes, I could talk Mythics all day. That's what I was telling Rob yesterday. I'm like, I just love talking about Mythics. It's a blast. Now, did you go to Legions Con last year?
I did. That was my first Legions Con, and like I think we've talked about earlier, I don't think I will miss another Legions Con if it can.
Oh, another phone call. Curtis, one Swigg, dude? That's all you're buying? I can't believe that, man. I can't believe it, dude. What about you, Rob? What are you picking up tomorrow? I already went over what I was going to pick up. 2 Skeleton Legion builders, Skull Warrior, 2 loose golds, maybe a cavern. Yeah, dude, IshCon next week, dude. I'm so excited. It's about a 12-hour drive. Me and the fiance are making it out there. We'll be there Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday we're gonna kind of mosey home, take our time. She wants to see a beach somewhere, so I need to figure out where there's gonna be a beach. She's a rock collector, so we're gonna be. So I'm excited because I've never seen Virginia, never seen West Virginia, never seen the Carolinas. So I'm excited. I want to try those Bojangles biscuits that they're talking about with the sausage and the blueberries. I'm down for that, dude. I'm excited for it. Yeah, Curtis, I wish you could too, bro. Jesse's gonna be there though, isn't he? Like he's your, you guys are bookends. I spent my ISS money on the new 89 Batman cowl. Yes, that is a beautiful cowl. I was just telling a friend about how they had one made by Don Post in 89-90, and I had picked up that when I was a kid. It was like $50. I had saved.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, you're back.
Sorry, go on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, I was just conversating with the boys on here. Brett says there's no Bojangles 4 miles. There is a Bojangles 4 miles from here. I never heard of Bojangles, not until I saw that picture of Jeremy eating one. And then on the Purple Gang they were talking about it. Eric says 4 Skellies, some Templars, maybe other stuff. Safe travels, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm going to leave Thursday night. My girlfriend wants to go to a concert here in Grand Rapids. So we're going to leave like right after the show and just drive overnight. Rob says, I'm trying to get more exclusives from SDCC. So money's kind of tied up there. Yeah, I would go for those first, dude. Everything basically in this, in the ISS, you're going to be able to get later. And then if you do miss out on the skeletons, Rob, I can get you a couple at the show. I think IshCon, they're going to have a limited quantity. So if you miss out, I can pick them up for you. Brett says the tidy train in effect, Curtis. Bose is a notch above Popeyes. Popeyes is pretty good. Popeyes is pretty good. I don't go there very often, but they're pretty damn good. So what's your preparation? What was that?
I like the rice and beans at Popeyes.
I'm not a bean.
The red beans and rice.
I like rice. I'm a weird Mexican, man. I don't like beans, but I love rice. So what's your preparation for Legions Con? I know you got some Swiggs that you're that you've got, going on. So what's your oh, GI Joe live stream in 1 minute. Okay, we'll wrap it up pretty soon. That way we can all check it out. I want to see that Rattler.
So it depends on what I have. I mean, I have the 4 Swiggs I'm bringing for 1,000 Swiggs.
See you, Brett.
And I have another project I think I've shared with you, but I'm not prepared to talk about yet publicly.
Yes, absolutely. I'm excited.
If that comes together,
see that.
That would be its own preparation in itself. I'm hoping I can pull that together. I talked briefly with Cullen about it, and we'll have to probably regroup and see where we're at this point. I've honestly kind of burnered it a little bit just because I've been really wrapped up with a couple other projects, but I'd like to get that off the ground. Of course, we have also talked about maybe I should or should not talk to Jeremy about it. So,
I was going to ask you, not to be cryptic about this project that you're working on.
Yeah.
Have you have not reached out to the studio about that?
I have not yet.
I think it would be okay.
I haven't done enough work on it yet to know whether or not it's a real thing, and I didn't want to get the studio involved with it and then not be able to bring it to fruition. So it's definitely something where if it can come to fruition, I mean, it might require some tweaking just for feasibility, logistics, whatnot. But and I mean, I think there's definitely room for it to be repurposed one way or the other. So I think it'll happen in one way or another. I think it would only really need the studio's approval if I went a certain direction with it. So, but again, it'll all be for charity if it happens and stuff like that. So it's just a matter of it's just a matter of, for me, on the biggest thing is, can I actually get it done in the time we have left? You know what I mean? And I didn't want to start getting people excited about something that just might not happen within the time frame.
Right. No, I get it.
So that's really all there is to it. But it's fun. I mean, you've seen some sketches, I think, of what I play. So,
are you bringing your son, or are you bringing your girlfriend? Are you bringing both?
Yes. So actually, let's talk about some of the other things that are not related. Yeah. No, the 3 of us are coming. When I went last year, it was just me. It was just me. And this year, I am bringing my son. I'm bringing my girlfriend, who's kind of dived deep, gone deep into the rabbit hole, so to speak, in the last few months over, because she sees how involved I am with it. She went to Joe Fest with me. She's got a Swigg. She also got herself, she really wanted a Father Christmas, so she got a Father Christmas. And she, but yeah, we're all coming. We're going to go to the customizing studio being put on by Curtis. Very excited about that.
I'm so excited for that. Did you get a spot?
I did. Myself, my son, and my girlfriend all got spots.
Nice.
We're all looking forward to it. I think if I remember correctly, I heard that sold out. So that's
currently sold out.
I'm very excited about that.
I'm sorry. I wish they could do maybe a 10 o'clock and then a 4 o'clock or something. Maybe a later one to accommodate more people, because I think it's a very popular thing, and it's.
I think the tough thing about that is, and I know this even with things I have ideas for, is the fact that when you want to put something like this together, you realize you're going to have to kind of man it the entire time, and then that means you go to the con, but you don't actually get to experience the con.
That's true. That's something I talked about with Alexander Deshaw. Is he's got a table, and you're missing out. Yeah, you're having a blast, selling stuff and talking toys and being with your neighbors that are, and people that are walking by, but you're missing a ton of stuff. You're not able to see all the other things that are going on and stuff. So you definitely miss out on that. But I get that. That makes sense.
So I mean, I think that's a tough thing, because if you get somebody I'm sure somebody like Curtis, who might be running that, unless you can tag team with somebody else and let them take the second run of it or something like that. And I mean, if I remember correctly, I think there's 10 different artists who are going to be leading tables, I guess, of customizers. Because I know at one point, I think it was either on Offworld or maybe Purple Gang Gang, that Curtis had kind of given kind of an overview. I think only 50 people can be in the room at the time, and that includes
Oh,
all
okay.
the ticket holders and
Yeah.
the actual instructors. So, and I think they had talked about maybe that they would film it so that therefore maybe it could be used beyond there, which would be great.
Yeah. Curtis
So
says that there are only 3 people on the wait list, so I don't know that 2 times would work. Also, 4 Horsemen has to pay to rent that room. Okay, I see. I was just thinking that also, people that aren't in the community, that just, are just coming in, not knowing what it's all about, would be able to come and check it out. But it was a great idea, and I can't talk enough about the customizing studio. I recommend it for people. Like I've been there many times.
I wish I could participate on the virtual one, except that, so it's not a secret. I mean, I work as a bartender. It's one of my jobs. I have a couple different things going on. I'm also an artist who does windows for storefronts and stuff. I do decorative windows where I do like holiday promotional, Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving, you name it, windows for stores. But I'm a bartender as my main year-round income at a country club. So Sundays I am doing brunch somewhere typically, and I'm not able to be on the customizing studio.
Yeah.
So while I'm whipping up mimosas and Bloody Marys, I'm missing out on being able to paint up some goblins and skeletons and barbarians.
I
but I
want to
wish
talk
I was
to
there.
Curtis.
I really do. I see the conversation of trying to urge people to get involved. And I'm like, I so want to be there, but I can't.
Yeah. I did want to talk to Curtis about maybe hosting a secondary time, like a late night, because there's some night owls like, me and Steph and Joe Martinez is up all night.
William Wallace.
William Wallace. Yeah, William Wallace doesn't sleep either. I work, and I don't get off until 11:30 at night. So it would be awesome to be able to do the studio when you're awake and you got some extra energy. It'd be cool to paint with some friends. So that would be cool if we could do something like that, like a late night or night owl studio or something like that would be cool. For people that are not able. So I did want to show off. I have the first panel of your comic before we wrap it up. You did start a story that I think is pretty cool and original. Let's see here. Poor William. No sleep for William. Sorry, buddy. Looks like it's. Oh shoot! Sorry, it's cut off a little bit, but check out the Cabal. He's got a comic there. It's a continuing story about Waltor and his crash landing on a planet. But go ahead if you want to tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So you can probably find it if you do #0004 Swigs. And so basically the concept is this will be a story that tells the tale of 4 of the 1,000 Swigs. And Waltor crashes on Mythos, presumably. And he is greeted by, or I shouldn't say greeted, but he runs into 4 of the Swigs. And they're kind of, I guess, aimless at this point. They're having a little bit of a discussion amongst themselves about like what they're supposed to do now, because they have differing opinions on should they just go ahead and be the spies that King Noglin wants them to be and go out into the world and just spy, or do they have a greater purpose? Can they do more than that? And Waltor is really going to be a catalyst, I think. I don't think I'm spoiling too much because I think the more fun stuff's going to happen after Waltor, but he comes to them and basically gives them an overview of the Cabal. I mean, that is what Waltor does. He brings the Cabal wherever he goes.
He's an ambassador. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I think in addition to their own desire to figure out their purpose and then finding the Cabal, which I think it's a lot of what people in the Cabal do. I think a lot of us are kind of on our own and then we find the Cabal. And, I think we may find ideas we already had independently but as a larger group that shares those values, that shares those ideas of wanting to be positive, of wanting to be helpful, of wanting to look out for one another. And so I said at the very beginning of this, I think where I am right now with the strip, I kind of ran into like, not a block, but just kind of, it's Walter defining the cabal to these 4 Swiggs. And in my head, I'm like, do I really want to have him spell it out, or do I want to have that conversation happen and then more or less have the 4 Swiggs throughout the story kind of give their own interpretation of that? Because I think we can all come into this and find different elements and not necessarily have it spelled out to us. And if you asked 100 different cabal members what the cabal is, I think we'd have some similar things to say, but I think we also might have a few unique ideas on what it is.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
And so I didn't want to
something
dictate
everyone.
I didn't want to necessarily, I think I'm at a point where I don't necessarily want to have this character say, these 5 things are the cabal, and
Right.
that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I think there are some values, and I think kind of what we were talking about earlier with the test shot, I think there is that sense of looking out for one another, to, trying to do right by each other. If we can help a brother out, we help him out, or a sister for that matter.
100%.
I again, right after I had put up my most wanted, which is funny because I put that up because of the fact that it was my own, I guess in the same way people put up weight gain or weight loss kind of post, like, here's where I am in my quest.
It's a journey. It's a journey.
And it was funny because yourself and one other very prolific person in the community reached out to me and said, hey, this is what I have, and I think I can help you. And it was funny because you both did it the exact same way too. It was almost like you guys got together, where you sent me the shots and circled the pictures. I will say that other person is Emil. So
great guy. I have an Emil figure.
Yeah, so awesome. And it was funny because I told him how much I love Legion's Cast and how I love the faction videos that he's put together, and how that's made these really cool characters have much more meaning to me, because understanding the interrelationships and their place within the world of mythos and whatnot. And so we had a cool conversation back and forth. So, cool. I basically, I want to see what I get out of this in stock sale. Yes, and then I think I'll be talking to both of you afterwards.
Yeah, let me know. Will says on your comic, leave it up to the readers.
And that's where I think I'm at. I think it's going to basically, I think based upon where I got to, because I have 4 pages, I think I'm going to drop them probably right after this stream. It'll basically be where that conversation would happen. I think I gave you a preview of the last panel is pretty much the panel I sent you, which was when they're dining. I'll just say that.
Right. Yeah. I love that.
And so when we pick up in the next episode, I think it'll be after that conversation's been had, but we'll start seeing where these characters go from there.
Sounds good.
And I think throughout the next 3 months, we will see the growth of that and how each Swigg basically is embodying their idea of the values of both the 2 things that I think Walter has left them with, which is their idea of what Mexico is and what the cabal is. So yeah, we're gonna have some fun.
Yeah. Curtis
hopefully
says
I don't get canceled for my own comical ideas of what these Swiggs might interpret Mexico as.
We're all open-minded. We're all
based upon what they got from a space skeleton who told them some things secondhand. So
Curtis says, here's the thing. The 1 p.m. Sunday studio is when I start, but anyone in the group could start whenever they want.
Here's an ignorant question on my part. Are the studios, are they recorded? Are they something you can watch afterwards? Or
I don't think so. I think it's a live only thing.
Okay.
And it's kind of like an open room, so people can join. I just don't know how other people know about it.
I hear about it all the time. And I see recruitment for it, but I just haven't had I haven't had the availability. So is it like you've been on it, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
So is it like a Zoom, like where it's like a bunch of people on camera?
Curtis says it's a live chat.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a live chat. I'm going to talk to him after or sometime and see if I can start one, maybe a late night owl thing. Rob is asking Terrence real quick, top priority 3 figures for your hunt list.
So I think it's a tough thing between what I think I can realistically get my hands on right now and what I think I could grab, out there. I mean, obviously, I think my number one grail for me is going to be Keltis, because I'm a Skeletor guy. I mean, I always have been. I think I want the real Unkin at some point.
What was that one? I missed it.
I want the real Uncan at some point.
Oh yeah, of course.
But non-custom figures, non-tribute figures. I want Azza, the original. I was having a conversation with Cloud Foxwell about that too, because she.
Oh yeah. I don't understand that. She said she wanted to get rid of.
I think she's of the mindset if she gets the better version in Azza 2, she's okay with letting go of Azza 1. Where you and I have had this conversation.
I'm sorry.
You and I are into the evolution and history of characters. So
yeah, I can never have too many Azzas. Currently I think I only have 2.
Right.
But I do have a beautiful test shot of Azza, which is my definite grail. Azza's my favorite character.
I want Juno.
Juno's a good one. I wish I had a double of her.
She just reminds me of like Red Sonja.
I might have another of her now that I'll check and see what I have. I might have an extra. Yes, Pete. She is.
And I'm a sucker for redheads. I can't help it. I just love redheads.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing
whether it's Mary Jane or Jean Grey or
Red Sonja.
Red Sonja, you know what I mean? But a badass red-haired chick, awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
and I do have the Red Sonja from Loose Collectibles. But
yes, I have that.
Looks cool, And I also have she's more of a strawberry blonde, but the character from Golden Axe, I have her as well. Because I love those the creatures they came with, the dragons and whatnot.
Pete's saying Juno was his first mythic. I didn't know that, Pete. Pete's going to be on my show. We might tape this weekend. I'm not sure. We'll have to connect Pete. It's interesting to hear what people's what they're looking for, and I think some places will have like a swap meet or like what are you looking for or like a trade thing.
Well, I'm curious because they're saying Issue's going to have a lot of these room swaps, which I have not really participated a lot in. When I was at Joe Fest, they did like a lot of swapping in the lobbies and hallways and stuff like that. I don't know if it's exactly the same thing. I think when I was at, what con was I at? Maybe it was Toylanta. Yeah, it had to be Toylanta. They had in the lobby, they had like a whiteboard that had like room numbers and what people it was like broken down to what people had in those rooms. So like if you were looking for O-ring GI Joes, go to this room. If you were looking for Motu vintage stuff, go to this room. If you were looking for classics,
I love that. I love that. I was just talking to a friend yesterday about what they were looking for, whatever, and it comes to the price too, and it's like I don't really like to talk money with friends. Like I would rather trade. You know what I mean? If there's nothing I really want, then okay, I'll sell it to you. But let's if we're both trading and we're happy, then then it works out. Rob's saying Azza, Juno, and Keltis. That's a good list. Yeah, I just got I know it's kind of not a huge thing, but the Green Elf Ranger was one that I was looking for or wanting for quite a while. And my friend Mark just accommodated me on that. I'm looking for Noglin, King Noglin. I do not have.
I got him in my my Mythos mystery box.
Yeah, you lucky bastard. Yeah, my friend
I got very lucky on the mystery box. I got 4 warehouse finds, which included King Noglin, Balim,
I want him
Thistlethorn, and Queen. I never say her last name. I got Queen Ursa.
Yeah, you did get some great. I got Morgulith, so I'm happy with with my warehouse find for sure.
Yeah,
But,
I'd love to get her though, because again, I'm a skeleton guy. So I mean,
it's a beautiful figure, beautiful figure. But I guess we should wrap it up pretty quick here. If you guys want in the comment, if you want to throw out your top 3 figures that you're looking for. Rob is asking, where's Grisha on your list? I love Grisha.
I do like Grisha. I also want to get. I feel left out because you and Mark both got Ragna now. You guys are Ragna bros. I feel like I have to get myself a Ragna.
Got to get a Ragna.
And I feel like, it's funny. I wanted Ragna more after I heard the guys on, I don't know if it was Offworld or right around the time that the mystery box were coming out. Like everyone was like kind of, downing Ragna. And I was like, I think Curtis was like not a Ragna fan. And I was like, I didn't know enough about the character. And all of a sudden I'm like, well, now I want her because everyone else says she's terrible, Yeah,
no, she's a beauty.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but in hand, she's even better.
Mm-hmm.
In hand, in my opinion, she's even better. And same thing with Grisha. The colors on Grisha are gorgeous. It's like the colors that they picked are just, I don't know. You have to see it in person to really, it's kind of like Arakagor.
Mm-hmm.
The blues on him are just phenomenal. And I think, no. That's my number.
Oh no, sorry. You're talking about. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're talking about. I heard a rack and I thought about spiders.
No, Okiatis is my
dragon.
least favorite mythic of all. Like I gave mine to Jeff. Like here, I think we traded. I think a Lady Averona. I'm like, I will take a Lady Averona over Okiatis any day of the week. Curtis says even Eric Treadaway says Ragna is the worst. I saw that interview and maybe he was a little embarrassed or maybe he was just being agreeable, Curtis. Maybe he's got a spot somewhere in his heart for Ragna. I mean, he did create her, so you can't say that's my least favorite child. So, but I mean, back then maybe they were trying to figure out ways to make new characters with the parts they have. I get it. But I don't know. Ragna's special, man. She's a cool figure.
Every character has the option of being someone's favorite.
Kirby saying Swigg has a solution to Ragna. What does that mean? What is the solution?
Well, you can use the parts from Swigg to make Ragna a new version, or you can make vice versa. Take Ragna parts, put it on a Swigg. I know Kirby's also been somebody who's been very involved with the Thousand Swigs movement, if you want to call it that. That's what Euro Legions called it, the movement. So, the idea that you can take parts off of a character you don't like and put them on Swigg and it becomes a whole new character, vice versa.
Yeah, that is true.
That's one of the things I'm also looking forward to at IshCon is they're going to have that pop and swap event. I'm definitely going to participate in that. I've not done a pop and swap event. So, I mean, I've done pop and swapping at home, but, it'll be fun to do it in a big environment like that,
right.
So.
Yeah. And I like that. I like the part swap too. That's outside of the, I think it's Chris James. Had the table with the different parts and stuff.
I can't wait to meet him too. We've interacted a little bit on Facebook, but he's the head of the South region, Cabal group here, and I'd love to meet him in person. It's funny, on my way up to Joe Fest, I stopped in St. Augustine, which I don't think is too far from where he was at, but we just have not been in the same con at the same time yet. So
yeah, I have to stop the show here. Rob is saying Curtis says Hadriana is a terrible character. Curtis is saying Ragna has a butter face. That's the barbarian face. How is that a butter face? That barbarian face is one of my favorite figures. The barbarian head. Come on, man. Look at that. That's dead sexy, man. What are you talking about? Look at that. Come on now. That's beautiful. He said the armor is beautiful, but the proportions are not right. So, but Rob, I don't know about him saying Hadriana is a terrible character. I did not hear Curtis say that. Curtis just likes to be volatile, I think. I think he just likes to be Someone that stirs things up. Oh, he said that just to irritate Trevor. Okay. I love Hadriana. That's one of my favorite characters. I probably, at one point, had probably 4 or 5 of her. I think I've got a couple left. I do have one for you if you said you wanted her. But that's one of my favorite figures. Rob says butter is good. Butter is good. Butter is good. It greases the wheels for sure. It greases the wheels. But let's wrap this up a little bit. We're going to IshCon, so hopefully, yes, you are a character, Curtis. Hopefully, I see a lot of friends at IshCon. It's going to be kind of a pre-Legions Con show, I'm hoping. So look forward to seeing a lot of friends there. And then Legions Con is how many weeks away?
Legions Con's about 3.5 months away, I think.
It's coming. It's coming, bros. It's going to be there. It's going to be here.
And the cool thing about IshCon is it's going to be pretty, it's not going to be as big as Legions Con, and it sounds like a lot of the people who I can't wait to see are going to be there. So it's going to be a little bit more of a cozy, more intimate setting. I mean, I know you and Mark are going to be there. I think Jeff's going to be there. I assume Big Dub might be there, and Kent Pool and Purple Gang. So it'll be pretty awesome.
You talking about Ish? Yeah. It's gonna be a blast. Yeah. I'm excited.
Can't wait.
And I've never been in that area, so I'm looking forward to it. Rob's saying Hadriana is one of my first figures. Once I discovered how cool she was, I picked her up right away. Curtis is saying because Trevor talks shit about Magnus and loves Hadriana. Now, Magnus is also a great figure. You have Magnus? Magnus is a great.
I do have Magnus, yeah.
That head sculpt is still one of my favorite.
I actually got my Magnus through Dennis Derby.
Okay. Yeah, Dennis Derby has probably helped just about everyone in the community. That guy has a warehouse. He's got a vault.
Yeah, we traded because I gave him my print card I got from the Mythos mystery boxes, and he gave me the Magnus in return. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Rob is saying Trevor is just jealous of Magnus's beautiful hair. That could be. That's possible. Yeah, I'm also a little jealous of Magnus's beautiful hair. But Dennis has helped everyone. And that just goes back to how many great people are in this community. Like,
yeah, we can go on for an hour and a half just talking about people. You know what I mean? Like, and doing a roll call on how many incredible
and all the great things that people have done for us or for each other, or it could be a whole testimony show about how great this community is. So let's wrap it up here. I want to thank the people that have been here the whole time. Charlie and Curtis, and we had Sig come in, and Rob, and my boy Charlie. We had Eric come in. Just want to thank all you guys. Thank you so much. All right, Curtis, thank you very much for hanging out and adding some flavor to this podcast. And
was that Eric LeBron?
Is walking by naked, so I'm going to let you guys go. And I will catch you guys on the next episode of New to Mythics. What do you got going on, Terrence? You have another show that you're going to be on soon?
I'm not sure if me and Jeff might film something. I think we might have missed that. I mean, he was doing his show the other night on Tuesday. I think we had talked about maybe doing one right before IshCon if it worked out. Curtis. But so we're not sure. And then, did you film I know you had an episode that you were talking about filming with a few people about goblins.
No, we were going to me and Eric and Matt, the Mi Amigos. We're going to tape a goblin episode. I had wanted to reach out to Kirby. I don't think he's still here. Kirby and Patrick and Mock and who am I forgetting? The guys that were in the tribute. I wanted them to come on and do like a goblin episode. But I think it's just logistically too difficult to get everyone to be, hey, Kirby, I wanted to get all of the OGs, the guys that have the tributes. I wanted to get their reaction. Dan Tobin. I forgot Dan. I wanted to get their reaction. So maybe if I do a live show and say, hey, we're going to do live, Dan, Kirby, Patrick, and Mark, if you guys can make it, I would love to get your reactions on being, having tribute figures. And then I wanted to do a dive on all the goblin figures that have come out heretofore, and then thoughts on the 2-pack of goblins that are coming next year. So maybe we can figure that out, Kirby. Thank you for hanging in there, and I appreciate you. I've never had you on the show or really talked to you, so I appreciate you hopping on and commenting. But maybe I'll reach out to you afterwards, and we can maybe figure out. I'll let the admin team know. Yeah, please. I would love to do a goblin show. I'm new to goblins, and I'm happy to be part of it. I've got Snag, I've got Gonks, I've got Thump, Thwick. I think I'm missing Nubnik and Noglin. Those are my 2. So I'm looking for those. I have a lot to trade. I've got a couple dollars, but yeah, great figures. Love the goblins. But anyways, let's wrap this up. I appreciate you, man. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and being part of this first special episode live stream of New to Mythics. And we're going to wrap it up. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Have a good one, Terrence. I'll talk to you later.
You too, man.
See you, buddy.
Talk soon. Bye.
Remember, friends, to always have fun, be curious, share, and enjoy what this line has to offer. Come for the toys, but stay for the friends. Good night, and thank you very much.